Hello, hello. I am Studio, and here we are, the last game of the night at the Mobile Fire Challenger Series. Joining me is a Rapid. We got Team Summon on the blue side. We got Curse Academy, featuring the Gatekeeper, of course, repping the red side. Rapid, how you feeling about this match?
While the gates may be kept, a Zingy is here to maybe find an alternate route through the fortress walls. This guy is probably most well known for his AP Amumu back in the day, but then innovated with like AP Maokai jungle, and even was the first one to figure out that you could solo Baron over the wall with Landry's Torment on Dr. Mundo and a high spell vamp version of his jungle Karthus build. So you might actually see a Karthus ban against him, and there it is. The Karthus ban not against Haruka in the mid lane, but it's actually going to be banned out against a Zingy, as his jungle Karthus is absolutely huge.
Entirely respect to that jungle Karthus. They don't want to see it. They don't want to see it in action. Let me double check something. Rapid, you keep going.
All right, the big thing to notice here, first two huge picks for Curse Academy are going to be One Bad Brad's Jungle Evelynn. It's his most played champion in solo queue, and it's also something that is routinely banned against him in MCS. So I think it's been banned against him, hold on, 6 out of 10 of their games. So yeah, it's a pretty common ban. The big thing to watch out for is that Gragas ban right against Oli Jackson. He was begging Team Summon not to ban that against him in chat. So we'll see if they can make him pay, if he can make them pay for banning against him, one of his strongest champions.
No
As is,
respect.
yeah, no respect at all. No respect.
No respect. He can't get any. And you know what? If you don't get respected, you got to show that back with blood. We do have Zyra Ashe coming out. We saw this earlier today. It worked out quite well early on in the game. Did not work out late game though, but Zyra Ashe was not the reason. It did not work out, unfortunately. So I want to see this lane in action. I want to see if Team Summon can pull it off because it's a pretty cool lane. It's very poke oriented, very long range. Sona, for example, she does have decent range, but Zyra Ashe can always poke her back, always try and punish her for any sort of harass. Twitch, kind of the same deal. He has good range, but you know what? You can't outrange Zyra Ashe unless you're something like a Caitlyn and then Blitzcrank lands a hook, something weird like that. You don't have two supports that can have that range, or a support AD combination that can match that range.
Yeah, really, really strong. I think the only thing else you'd have is like maybe Caitlyn Zyra. That's just I feel dirty for saying those
There's
words.
one Zyra though, and yeah, Caitlyn Zyra. That's a beast lane. However, Ashe has a utility ultimate. As mentioned earlier by Arthlon, a lot of the AD carries have been nerfed, so Ashe is seeing more play. I mean, you make all the AD carries bad, Ashe might be good now. Still not
Yeah,
at that
something to
point.
watch.
They're still
Yeah,
okay.
something to watch out for. And there it is, locked in. It's the Ezreal taken away from Curse Academy. This is actually really interesting because Curse Academy and Complexity, two of the only teams in MCS that have really just been spamming that blue build Ezreal mid. Jackson has huge plays on that Ezreal, just allowing Curse Academy to get to where they are in the MCS standings. And keep in mind, coming into this game, Curse Academy actually not doing too bad. Tied for 4th spot with Cognitive. We actually just saw Cognitive lose their last game, so now Curse Academy ahead of them in 4th place at 7-3. They've been having an extremely good showing here in MCS, and now going up against I guess what you could consider to be a little bit of the underdogs. 3-7 Team Summon actually tied now with Infinite Odds, and Infinite Odds actually came into MCS 0-6. So Team Summon been struggling a little bit, going to look to bring things back and even up their score versus Curse Academy. And with everything locked in, this will be our final roster. Are going to have a little bit of a dodge out. I'm not sure if we had a placeholder or what was going on there.
Could be some confusion, could have been a disconnect. Hopefully we can get the game underway ASAP. But I mean, you're right. Team Summon, they've had a lot of roster changes. I remember at the start of the MCS, it was a completely different roster. We had people like Locust on the team. Sicko Scott was in the jungle. Now we've got this different brand of Team Summon. And you know what? Let's see if they can bring it into action. Let's see if they can take down Curse Academy. And like you mentioned, the numbers, the wins, and losses are in their favor. They're an older team. They've also gone through quite a few roster changes themselves, but still, Rux, that guy's been playing for a long time in competitive games, just nonstop since last September, and it kind of shows with the team. He is such an experienced player.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of inexperience in this game because not only do you have subs for both sides, really the bottom lane for Curse Academy has had some issues. You'll notice Yuno no longer on Curse Academy, now subbing in young Lopali, formerly of they have many names, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to be calling them just yet. I'm just going to call them the Zibop Squad, aka Hoodstomp Graves GG. Shout out to them for actually
that old team.
making it all the way through to the well-played PAX qualifiers. Unfortunately, they did wind up going down to infinite odds in the first round, but young Lopali making his way back into MCS, now on support for Curse Academy, who also went down in the first round there, so a little bit of a common commiseration. But like I mentioned, final lineups for both teams, and I mean, we're going to see them be locked in here. Fabi on his Twitch, and Jax, so what? Okay, I was gonna say, I was like, okay, Jaximus, your Gragas was banned, and even though we have troll bans this time around, probably don't want to pick banned champions. Back on his Ari. All right, that sounds a little bit better. Gonna be going up against Lissandra. I mean, we've already seen that matchup once today, and Pobelter was playing Lissandra, was able to turn things around. It was actually very, very back and forth. So we'll have to see if it continues to be such a close matchup, or if there's a little bit of a skill differential this time around.
And Jackson's, you got to show your skills, man. Lissandra versus Ari, the matchup like we saw before. Essentially, one can always kill the other. If Ari gets her moves on, if she can get the jukes, she can output a little bit more DPS. At the same time, Lissandra's got the guaranteed CC. She has the higher burst damage, the higher reliable burst damage, more importantly. And sometimes it could just come down to summoners. Actually, the blockers were down for that. So at this point, it doesn't really matter. But the teleport on a Haruka. So there is no Ignite right now in that mid lane. He might swap over at the last second. Actually, I'll block that just in case. And if that does happen, if it is a teleport, all of a sudden Haruka has much more map presence. He can gank. He can do a lot of cool stuff with that. But Jaximus should be able to reliably kill Haruka, or at least win any sort of exchange in the mid lane for pretty much the entire laning phase, just because Haruka's not going to have that Ignite. He's not going to have that extra bit of damage you need for those kills.
Yeah, now I was getting a word that Haruka actually kind of lagged out there during the pick phase. That's why we saw an Ezreal get locked in. And Ezreal was, in essence, a placeholder for Lissandra. So that's why we will see a Lissandra into Kennen. Huge lockdown. And pretty much this entire team from Team Summon is just a team of mass CC. You're going to be able to get the Frozen Tomb off from Haruka. That just sets up right into a perfect Ashe ult. Like, you don't get it much easier than that. You're just standing still for 2 seconds for a click stun, or 1.5 seconds. Click stun there from Frozen Tomb. You land the Ashe arrow on it. Even from long range, you can get that done. And then just the follow-up CC is going to blow one or possibly multiple people apart in these team fights to come up. So I gotta say, very, very strong CC lineup from Team Summon. What are you seeing out of Curse Academy, Studio?
Out of Curse Academy, they have that jungle Evelynn pressure. That is just always so predictable for teams. You can buy pink wards, but the fact that they're so much more expensive, the fact that you just can't afford that many of them, will reduce the ward coverage they can have against one bad Brad, and that pressure, that Evelynn pressure combined with a Shen ultimate. Now imagine that mid to late game, Evelynn comes into Shen ultimate already on one bad Brad, and the taunt comes out as well as Evelynn's ultimate. Like, they have so much cool setup, so much cool distraction to let Fabi, the gatekeeper, in the background just pelting away with that Twitch ultimate. Now we do have about 120 left, so we're going to go ahead and go into some sponsor videos. Shoutouts, of course, to iBuyPower, Fatality, and Razor for sponsoring the Mobile Fire Challenger Series. There is a tip jar. If you do like what you're hearing, you can always go ahead, drop a dime in there. We won't mind. And we'll actually go ahead, be right back. We'll see you guys in the loading screen. Almost there. We're almost there. Gotta wait for that pop up. You can see some cool looking skins. Just gonna go ahead, check on how everybody's doing. I got Razor back on the line. He's doing A-okay. He's not MIA anymore. Loading screen is kicking in. Any cool skins? You know what? Wildfire Zyra, it's decent. I like it. Nothing too exciting except maybe TPA Shen, and I actually love Masquerade Evelyn just for like the dramatic wrestling pose going into the loading screen. I don't know. It looks cool to me. It's just like I'm gonna do stuff as Evelyn. Which when that skin was released was not something you did. You did not do stuff with Evelyn. That was not really a thing at the time.
Yeah, there was a sudden drop off of Evelyn play when they removed her stun and gave her a slow, and basically all she did was kind of like walk around and just like, oh, I'm Evelyn, I can't really do anything to you. And nobody played her, and she was the placeholder. And then it became Poppy, and then Quas played Poppy and won a game with it in the GGLA Challengers Arena for NWE. And all of a sudden, you're just like, okay, well, now what are we going to use as Poppy as our placeholder? And I think it's down to Heimerdinger right now. So until we see competitive Heimerdinger play, possibly out of Arthalon, you know, we could see that coming up here in just a minute. But if you guys are just now joining us, then you're a little bit late to the show, but you picked a really good game to join in on. It's Team Summon in the blue, coming up from the bottom left-hand corner of Summoner's Rift, going up against Curse Academy. They're coming down from the upper right in the red. They meet up against one another, probably in the lower jungle. And kind of interesting to see both of these teams. Curse Academy tied for 4th place currently with Cognitive, whereas Team Summon have had a little bit of a rough time. Both teams with subs, Zingy subbing in for Team Summon as young Lopali there, subbing in for Yuno on Curse Academy. Ward, nice ward there, placed by Team Summon. All 5 members of Curse Academy standing right on top of there. That was a chance for an invade, but now they're actually going to stand in on the other team's summon ward, and just kind of pings going off all around the map. Perfect early level 1 vision for Team Summon.
Well, perfect at the time, but now that level 1 vision, not going to really matter because Curse Academy, they didn't do anything with that. They have a ward. Actually, you know what? They're going for the invade. They're sticking around. They revealed themselves, I believe, by this ward walking through here, so they could they could be trying to set up a trap on Curse Academy, but really walking into a trap themselves.
It was a mind game from Haruka. He walked out of the bush and walked and stood directly on the Curse Academy ward. He's just like, okay, I don't know anything's here. I don't know that you put a ward here, so I'm just going to chill. And now Curse Academy a little bit split in their decisions. They're going to send Rux all the way up to top lane. At least that's where he looks like he's going, but he's going to take the safe route up there, not wanting to face check into anything because there's no vision for Curse in their upper jungle. He is going to face check that bush, so wow, he could have died. But even still, going to make it up. Pretty standard lane combos, although we could see a duo mid. Yes, we will.
One bad Brad.
Okay. All right, GG. One bad Brad wins the Smite War. Won't even have to use any potions, doesn't get the level 2 off of that, so that's a little bit of a benefit. And when you look at the bottom lane, Curse Academy gonna get level 2 off of their bottom as well, so duo lanes working out for Curse to start things off, and the jungle, very strong start for One Bad Brad.
Yeah, that's huge, and that was, oddly enough, weird mind games coming out from Curse because Evelyn was not revealed by any of the wards. She was invisible, so able to sneak up there, able to kind of play against what you would expect to happen. Like, alright, they didn't go for the invade, they backed off. Normally you don't send the one jungler in to go for a steal, but One Bad Brad is the one jungler that could do it because he's playing Evelyn, who, guess what, wards don't work that well unless they're vision wards. So, I mean, a nice pickup, puts him very, very far ahead in the jungle, already level 3, actually highest level in the game, leveling up just so quickly from the extra experience. And now, I mean, Azingi, he's not irrelevant, he can still jungle fine, Zac with a blue buff will be a-okay, but, you know, if Evelyn gets out of control, that could be terrifying.
Yeah, Zingy forced to burn through every single one of his health potions. One Bad Brad with one running, one left in the inventory, especially with double buffs, triple buffs actually. Well, 2 red buffs, so they will stack in the mid lane or in the bottom lane. Haruka actually tried to do double golems. Not too sure about this. One more auto attack to pick up the kill. Does not get the golem. Actually can't kill the golem. He's going to try to micro it back. Wait for spell cooldown and the potion ticking. Will he be able to get this? It's the battle of the ages. Can't take it down. This is the most epic confrontation in the mid lane. Haruka, one more auto attack, and it's going to be one bad Brad for the first blood. Damage to turn around from Jacksmith onto Maxi. But first blood once again, one bad Brad getting in there, taking out Haruka, or Harkua. Keep in mind, there's Haruka on Lissandra with Harkua on Ashe. So
it's painful. It's painful. Now, the unfortunate thing there was Harkua was so low earlier. He'd taken some damage from the turret. He got caught out for a sec, took a turret shot, and also took a lot of damage from Jacksmith in the mid lane. So I mean, this is a pretty terrible start right now for Team Summon. They've got Azingi. He lost his red buff level 3 versus one bad Brad who's level 4 and got first blood. So if Jungle Evelynn is someone who she gets out of control, the problem is because she can get into lanes so easily and it's so expensive to counter against her with a vision ward, and those can be played around, not easily, but they can be played around. One bad Brad, if he goes on a tear, it's just going to be so hard to stop him. And that's what they got to watch out for. That's what they got to look out for. Already has a Spirit Stone, has a longsword. Usually Jungle Evelynn can build anywhere between 1 and 3 jungling items because they're also efficient on her. So let's see what he ends up picking up.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't quite seen the 3 jungle item Evelynn.
It's awesome.
That'd be a little bit next level for me.
It's so blue. Like it's like blue Ezreal, but it's now blue Evelynn, and Evelynn herself is blue. It works out perfectly.
Wow, that's actually some extra synergy.
Next level, man.
I did not expect that, but we'll have to see. Top lane, one bad Brad gonna get the gank of the ages off here onto Lamagen. He's gonna try to get back to his turret, but to pause as one bad Brad unfortunately DC'd. So that
may have not. Like, all right, this is actually really cool. If one bad Brad did not DC, which I'll open up chat just to double check that now. Oh, he did DC.
Brad is attempting to reconnect. I was like,
think of the mind games though. Like Rux taunts him underneath a turret. Lamian, oh my god, that name. Lamagen, you know, takes a bunch of damage, but he doesn't get ganked. Like, you expect the gank right away. You expect, all right, I'm going to get ganked. Evelyn's going to hit me in a second. But, like, one bad Brad out of nowhere comes afterwards, after Lightning Rush is already down. That would catch him off guard quite a bit. So that's why I thought it might be a really just weird mind game. But one bad Brad just disconnected. I still think he can get this gank, though. I still think this is going to be a successful gank for him. He has not been spotted out yet. There is no vision ward. There is no green ward. There are 0 wards total. So when he gets back in the game, I want to see if they could do something, because it could be very, very cool if they can.
And Kennen actually has flash, but keep in mind the slows from red buff and the chase power from Dark Frenzy on one bad Brad is going to allow him a lot of chase potential here against Kennen, especially if you get the follow up from Shen. I mean, when you look at the actually Shadow Dash, 10-second cooldown. All right, that's what I was looking for. He got an earlier taunt off underneath the turret, but because Brad was lagged out, he wasn't able to get into position to capitalize on that in time. So unfortunately, we won't see a Shadow Dash available in this gank, but could still see some damage coming back in. One bad Brad's good, getting back in the game, ready to go, and we should see an unpause here in just a second. But apparently, Azingi had some issues at the same time, so both junglers a little bit disconnected from the rest of their teams.
All right, well, you know what? Let's go ahead. We'll continue the game without junglers. A-okay. Don't need them. It's fine. Don't worry. Now, you know, they could wait for it. Rux could wait the 10 seconds. I actually kind of expect a flash taunt if Lamigen isn't in range. Like, they should make something happen with this. Yeah, one bad Brad still in the area. Rux waiting for it. 4 seconds till Shadow Dash is up. They want the taunt. They want to make this happen. Lamigen, can you get away from this?
Oh, the flash taunt comes out. Rux, the manliness. I don't even know. That was totally worth it. When you go for flash taunts and you hit them, it's pretty darn impressive. Lamigen flashing out, didn't quite get away in time. The flash from Rux really sealing the deal. 2 kills already. Curse Academy off to a nice start. You can already see why you banned that Evelynn versus Brad.
Now, that was, you know what was really cool about that flash taunt? It wasn't just a flash taunt, it was a flash and then a short range taunt. Very short range. Like, Rux did not move anywhere after he flashed. And that was just efficiency. It didn't waste any time. He didn't go too far forward. And it's impossible to react to. His young low pally taken down to about a 3rd HP just from one volley Zyra snare combination. Sona is incredibly squishy. 53 armor, 48 magic resist with her healing aura on. So that that Aria of Perseverance is actually giving her extra, and it's still so low in terms of mitigation. So if they do land another root and a volley combination, there is no ignite in the bot lane, but it's just so easy to kill Sona with that combination of Ashe and Zyra. Those plants destroy Sona.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep in mind, both Sona and Zyra, very, very low base HPs for supports. That's why you'll see 2 HP Quints being run onto low pally along with 1 gold per 10. And pretty much the same thing out from Maxi's Zyra. It's going to be interesting to see because on Curse Academy, traditionally you had Yuno run AP champions for her... for her supports. For her AP Zyra, actually really, really strong. Won Curse Academy quite a few games, but with a pink ward here at the red buff. Looks like One Bad Brad looking for a steal in here onto a Zingy. What's the smite difference? It's level 4 to level 5. One Bad Brad should, in theory, be able to take this one away.
Oh.
It's one away again. One Bad Brad 2 for 2 on steals.
That is rude, that is lewd, that is crude, that is One Bad Brad, level 6 now, has the Evelynn ultimate, Agony's Embrace, now available, and this is going to be huge.
Bottom lane looking for the aggression onto Maxi, could force the flash in from young low pally, picking it up, Maxi going down under turret.
Spotted out in the jungle for Team Summon. I mean, Team Summon, they're 0-3 right now, One Bad Brad is on the tear, bot lane gets stone kill. I mean, if Twitch snowballs out of control, that's bad. If Evelynn snowballs out of control, that's bad. There are so many champions that can snowball out of control. The exception is pretty much Rux, and Rux could still snowball if he wanted to. I guess low paleo as well. Carry Sona not too viable, or at least as far as I've seen. And the team is getting very out of hand very quickly. The major threat bottom is growing. The major threat in the jungle growing. Every lane has a kill, and that is a sight to see. That is something to fear, as a CS advantage is also really coming into play. Only top lane is losing, and that's because Shen versus Kennen. Kennen should win that lane. Zyra, of course, is lower on CS compared to Zac, but, well, she's got 2 red buffs to his 0, and I think that kind of makes up the difference right there.
Yeah, the buff differential across the board. I think if you want to count total aggregate buffs, that's a total of 3 red buffs so far for One Bad Brad, 0 red buffs for Zingy. So you will need that at some point during the game. Spirit of the Lizard Elder is the first item pickup there for One Bad Brad. So we'll see if he goes to triple spirit items as the game progresses. Ping's going down on the pink ward placed by One Bad Brad at a Zingy's red buff, just scouting things out, letting everybody know, hey, Zingy's bottom lane, so you want to watch out as he's doing his double golems. I think that those are the same double golems that Haruka actually had a little bit of a difficulty doing earlier on. And now with that blue buff in the mid lane going up against Jaximus, you see Jaximus had a little bit of a better start to the game, about 30 CS up onto Haruka, just forced the CS under turret.
Top lane, Lemijin trying to get out of there. Doesn't get by the Evelynn ultimate. Agony's Embrace. The stuns. Will it be enough? He gets to some CC. Trying to get out though. Taken down so low. And he does go down. One Bad Brad repping that Spirit of the Lizard Elder. I want to go into that one really quickly. You pick it up because every stat is good for it. Good for Evelynn. The CDR is nice. The damage actually scales really well. She scales quite well because of Hate Spike and her claws. Her E scaling well with attack damage. And then the mana regen and HP regen I think she sorely needs because she does not sustain in the jungle, and she also has really big mana issues because of Hate Spike consumption. So, I mean, it's just such a perfect item. And then, look how much damage Lemijin took up there. That was brutal. Evelyn's terrifying at this point, and that's something you do not want to ever have to deal with in out of control Evelynn.
All right, I wouldn't say out of control just yet. I mean, 2-0, very strong start to the game. But the big thing to look at the CS differential. It's 23 for One Bad Brad to almost 50 for Zingy. Oh my goodness, the damage. Harkua rather, not long for this world. Jaximus still gets knocked up under turret range, the additional damage, but the Shen ultimate on top will save out Jaximus. Does pull Rux out of that top lane. He's immediately going to hit the back button, or will he? 11 minutes into the game, Curse Academy looking to take their first turret down their bottom lane. It will be a Zingy trying to get the engage. The taunt lands on and Maxi. He is going to get taken down there, or will he? Yes, finally does fall. Punch to the face. Is Zingy going to get the let's bounce down onto Zyra with the follow-up kill onto Harkua. Fabi coming in from the side of Zingy trying to get away, but the flash will not be enough. Harkua and Haruka going down. Harkua throws down the arrow. It actually does not hit anyone. Somewhat unfortunate as he was trying to help it out from base.
The arrow doing, well, not a whole lot. Mid turret is going to be pushed out as One Bad Brad. With that extra bit of attack damage, will actually push quite quickly. as well as the extra bonus AD, or is it AD or move speed from his E? That's actually attack damage. The bonus attack damage he does get from those claws, the Ravage, giving him 75% attack speed. Just use it on the creep, push that tower faster. A Zingy, I mean, he's got to be prepared for this. He needs to know what's happening. The pink ward already placed by One Bad Brad, ready in advance to try and snag that red buff. Luckily, One Bad Brad was already spotted out by a pink ward over here, so he knows not to go for it, at least for a little while. But still, this is dangerous for both One Bad Brad and Zingy. He needs that red buff. He needs that experience. And then One Bad Brad, you know, if he walks by a pink ward, he's just in danger at that point.
All right, so we're going to have to keep an eye on not only Brad, but also Jaximus. Jaximus starting to get the roam down. You can see he walked bottom lane immediately, hit the taunt onto Harkua, and was just able to blow him apart afterwards. You're going to see that same Deathfire Grass rush that we saw a little bit earlier on, but I don't know. I mean, it worked out kind of well for Easy, but it just wasn't quite on that same level that Pobelter's Lysandra was. This time around, we are going to see a Zonya's rush, though, from Haruka. So we'll see how that itemization works out. I mean, we were talking with Arthalon. He said the Zonya's was the way to go, but that magic resistance versus Ahri was definitely a strong itemization choice. And looks like it's going to be damage. Defensive top lane going in. There's the Zac, the Crescendo. Not even coming out. Lopali dies with Crescendo available. So didn't even think that would help him as Lavagen coming in there and gets the kill with some help from a Zingy. We will see One Bad Brad walking up through a pink ward, so Zingy can just stay up here, knows the counter gank is coming, looks to turn it around.
Zingy's fairly low himself. Twitch at full HP, so it'll be a tough 2v2 if they decide to go for it. No ult on Kennen. Ultimate is not available for Twitch, but, you know, Aggie's Embrace, that's something hard to fight. Lysandra has joined the fight, though. Haruka looking for this kill. One Bad Brad. Oh, this is not where you want to walk, One Bad Brad. This is dangerous, One Bad Brad. One Bad Brad, no!
Oh my goodness, going over the wall, even the Frozen 2, man, the Ice Path barrier comes out under the shield from the ultimate. Agony's Embrace not embracing him all that much as Zingy will have to embrace his Bloblet for him, as they unfortunately will go down, and that means that Zingy will go down with them for the 8th kill of the game for Curse Academy.
Another red buff going toward the side of Curse Academy. Harkua now in danger, has a flash over the wall. Rux does not have this flash available, or he could go for that kill. Still, you know, that's another red buff gone. It's a lot of damage taken by Harkua. More time where he's not farming. Fabi now in danger in the top lane, though.
Yeah, Fabi going in. There's the slicing Maelstrom getting off. There's Shen ultimate onto Fabi. Gonna keep him alive for now. Haruka not long for this world. Flash over the wall from Maxi. Gets taunted up immediately. No mana onto Jaximus, but it's a double kill for Rux getting in there. The save onto Fabi and the double to follow. Rux turning the team fight around for Curse Academy.
I mean, Rux hit level 11 right beforehand. That extra level of shield just completely turned the fight around. I believe at the end of that fight, or at the beginning of the fight where Fabi got that extra shield, had about an extra 800 HP just from Shen's shield and his own barrier. And that was it. That was a turnaround. They didn't have enough damage after Maelstrom was used. They didn't have enough damage with the support Zyra there at the fight. And Lysandra tried. She tried really hard, but she just couldn't do anything quite yet with her ultimate, just not dealing enough damage. And this is kind of the story of the game. They have these cool setups, but Curse, they're just there. They're ready. If they lose One Bad Brad, they pick up a Zingy in response. If they have Fabi caught out, guess what? There's a Shen and Barry coming to protect them at the same time. The Gatekeeper does not go down. And you know, it started out early with just good ganks, coordinated attacks, and the early red buff steal. And so far, I don't know if Team Summon, they just don't seem prepared for all the weird things Curse can throw at them.
Yeah, for Team Summon, it's really going to be a battle of can they get their CC combo to work the way they want it to. It's been really difficult to, you know, get 5 members of Team Summon all in one area and then initiate the way that they want to. I am completely lagged out.
You okay? You okay? All right. Because you sound good to me. You sound good to me, but that's all right, Rabbit. That's all right. Still, like, they need to land that CC, but it's not even the CC. It's those stuff happening across the map. The red buff stolen by Evelynn twice. Make it thrice if you include the Shen steal. The weird just burst of HP. You don't expect that much HP from a Shen ultimate combined with a barrier. Fabi just had enough experience. Haruka, for example, in the top lane, is dying 1v1 versus a Shen hiding in the bush. You just don't expect that. You don't expect the damage from Shen. You don't expect the Shen to be hiding in the brush. And you know what? Shen's completely fine because he has mobility, and they don't know how to deal with it.
Actually, the bottom lane, Llama Gen going in on to Fabi, not within range of the ultimate. He got creep blocked, decided to turn things around, but that was exactly the wrong decision. Full max stacks of that Toxic Venom, but Lightning Rush comes off a cooldown. Llama Gen looking to escape. We will see the stealth in there. Ambush from Fabi. Will it be enough to get the last few auto attacks that he needs? 1, 2, where's the expunge? The double burn from the double dots. Red buff taken down, picking up Fabi. Another kill, 3, 0, and 5.
Fabi played that perfectly. He walked out of range of Slicing Maelstrom, turned around and said, all right, you did that. Now it's my turn. Activated the Blade of the Ruined King, so Llama Gen could not escape. Turned on the Spray and Pray, one for the DPS, one crazy, wet hand, and the results were amazing. He got the kill. He got what he needed done. And like, if you can know your character well enough to know the range to get out of Slicing Maelstrom and not fight, the range to turn around and activate the Blade of the Ruined King to get a kill like that, that is huge. And you know, they're trying these things. They're trying to make something happen, and it's not working for Team Summon. They need a game plan. They need a way to make their team comp work with the Ashe ultimate, with the Ashe arrow, which we haven't really seen used to initiate a fight. And if it doesn't happen, like, this is their chance right now. They got to make something happen, because Zingy, like, that's their big surprise. Now wasted. They know they know they were spotted out there. They know they can't play too far forward again.
If you look at the gold counts, Zingy's down by about 900 gold. That's purely on kills. Ooh, wow. Jaximus stealing the damages, and now with the middle turret below half HP, you can tell a very patient pushing strategy here from Curse Academy. They know they have One Bad Brad. He's got the pink wards down. One Bad Brad has about like 4 to 5 pink wards over the course of this game, and it's only 18 minutes in, because he wants to know that guaranteed he has not been spotted out. He is going to wait for the flank around this turret. When Curse Academy do try to dive, Stand United is up. If we do see an engage, if this Ari Charm lands, this is going to be an immediate decision by Curse Academy to go in. And actually, Maxi going to take the damage as he goes down immediately. Zingy with the Let's Bounce, but not really bouncing all over absolutely anything. Fabi will stay alive. The damage in the back. It's going to be looking for Zingy to get away, but it gets charmed up. Pops his passive. We'll have 1,000 HP to go through on 4 Bloblets, but it's Jaximus to pick up the kill, and a 4-for-0 exchange. Huge crescendos by Lopali as well, and a masterful dive there after the turret taken. Ruck's gonna take it up. Curse Academy take down the first base turret and the first inhibitor of the game.
If we want to get biblical, that was an amazing Moses-style play from Harkua. He fired out that enchanted crystal arrow that actually split the Curse Academy C. Like, they just completely avoided that. Well, it looked like they didn't even have a chance to. And, you know, they waited too long, too little, too late. By the time the Ashe arrow finally went down, the tower was gone. It was an easy team fight for Curse Academy to take. You know, they're so far ahead. You think a team with Kennen, Zac, Zyra would have so much AoE, but Lissandra was not there for the fight. The team is too far behind. And then the AoE damage from Twitch, the AoE damage from Evelynn, and the CC from Evelynn and Sona, and as well as Shen, actually. It's too much to deal with. They cannot deal with the big scary threats of the enemy team, which at this point is everybody. Even Lopali did not die that fight. Lopali got focused for a bit, taken down to almost no HP, but they still couldn't kill Sona.
Yeah, killing Sona, when you can't do that, you know you're lacking a little bit in damage. 4, 1, and 6 on a Rux right now. Huge plays. He's had 2, 3, 4-man, not quite 4-man, 2 or 3-man taunts in at least the last 2 or 3 fights. So very, very strong performance from Rux. One Bad Brad, 3, 1, and 4. Individual performances from Curse Academy, absolutely devastating this game. Just winning out their lane. There's a Medjai Soul Stealer on Jaximus right now, so that guy looking to get in.
You know what? He can get away with it. That's a scary pick no matter what, because it's so inefficient early on, and you need to get those kills to even make it worthwhile. But he has so much of a gold lead. I mean, he's at 8,300 gold. Lissandra's at 5,700. I mean, he is the most farmed member of Curse Academy, but it's 7,000, 8,000, 7,000 versus the 5,000 and 4,000s coming out from Team Summon, and they got nothing right now, unfortunately. Which is, you know, I like the team. I like Team Summon. I like the base, but Fabi's going to be taken down now. It's making something happen. Rux has no ultimate available. They did have to spend both Kennen ultimate and, you know, the Zac initiation. but they lose a dragon for it, and they're not going to make a lot happen. They have to make something happen. They have to get a tower. They have to get something, because no turrets down, no dragon secured, no red buff secured, I believe, and it's all building up.
Yeah, not really a lot of anything secured. Look at the pink ward coverage. You can actually 1, 2, 3 pink wards for Team Summon in their own jungle. That's just really going to set them far behind, but you have to do that against an Evelynn, and that's one way that One Bad Brad can continue to exert pressure across the map, even without being present there for the ganks, for the threats. Lamagen, Zingy looking top lane to try to catch out onto Lopali. Young Lopali, please. Oh, no elastic slingshot there. Zingy went for it, but actually canceled it. Now it's off a cooldown. Might look for it again, but Lopali out of there. And no gank attempt successful there for Team Summon. Going back to the team, pings onto the blue buff. Do want to make sure that the pink or the oracles there from Lopali will clear things out. One Bad Brad still incognito. Nobody knows where this guy is on Team Summon.
The pink ward's being taken out is such a big deal. Actually, Ziggy is caught up by Lopali. Like, he's running from the Sona. Of course, Sona does have backup, so it's not just her. Ziggy taking a lot of damage from Ahri. But, like, that is a story when a Zac sees a Sona and runs away immediately. Like, that is the name of the game right now. Rux does have flash available. Could go for this flash taunt, go for a kill. He goes for it, misses it, and oh my god, the range was just too short. So you know the short range flash taunt from last time didn't work this time.
He was just trying to time it, but it's actually a pick onto Zac. A little bit of an overextension there by Zingy, and it's young Lopali that picks up the kill. And off the back of that, and the retreat from Haruka back into the base, it's going to be a Baron buff, at least Baron buff attempt here for Curse Academy. One Bad Brad pretty low, but plenty of health on young Lopali and Jackson as he'll be able to take it out. The Baron gets taken down. Curse Academy take it out at the 23-minute mark.
They're ahead by 12,000 gold. I mean, Rux's flash is down, I guess would be the big disadvantage right now. But, you know, they can do what they want. If they group up for a team fight, they should win it. If they split push, their 1v1 is so strong right now, even if they're not using 1v1 characters, which actually, you know, Evelynn, Ahri, Twitch can all 1v1 quite well. But, like, their 1v1 is so strong just because of their gold lead that it doesn't even matter if it was weaker characters. And it's going to be whatever they want to do. If they want, they can split push. If they want, they can group push. Just do a thing, and it'll work for Curse.
It's going to be Rux versus Haruka down bottom lane. Rux really going to win that out. 4-1-6, a huge score. Rux, he tossed away this time. Rux learned his lesson. He's not going in for that anymore. And does stop the back there from Haruka, forcing her to stay. And she wants to, get this next wave. Huge pressure, though, in the mid lane. No Nexus turret to defend this naked inhibitor mid lane. And it's going to be up to Team Summon to try to defend against super minions coming in, as it did just respawn. So, I don't know, man. It's going to be rough to not only take them out, but to defend against just constant harass damage. Jaximus, Fabi, young Lopali, they're all there for Curse Academy. We're going to just poke it down little by little, forcing Team Summon to engage.
And of course, Shen in the bot lane still has the ultimate available. Zingy, going for the last slingshot, did cancel it though. He wants to scare them away. They have her down to about 800 HP. This is going to be close. It's going to go down in just 1 or 2 seconds of auto attacks.
And there it falls. The encounter engaged there as Zac going in. The flash, the crescendo on Fabi and Lopali. Lopali blows up immediately, but Lamagen not able to get the kills out. There's going to be the flash in from Haruka. Will pick up the kill onto Fabi from behind, but it's Haruka versus One Bad Brad. Where's the cooldowns on your abilities? Throws down the Zhonya's Hourglass. Is it going to be enough? No, gets taken out underneath her own turret. One Bad Brad will survive. It's a 4-for-2 in favor of Curse Academy, and they will smash through this base. Minions coming in from the top lane. Rux, and One Bad Brad, along with Jaximus, will be able to take out that top turret. Second inhibitor looking to fall in favor of Curse.
Clean pickup there with a tower, and that team fight, that was actually a terrible team fight for Curse Academy. Fabi got focused on early. Lopali missed his ultimate, did not hit anybody, but that didn't matter because the team was so far ahead. One Bad Brad could still clean up, Jaximus could clean up, and Rux coming in late. On the Shen, look at the HP bars, that tells the story. Jaximus at full HP, Rux at full HP, and alright, One Bad Brad got fairly low himself, but that was it. They killed 2, got 1 guy low, and the big threats, 2 big threats, were still left completely fine.
Yeah, a little bit of a panic out there. Lopali Probably wishing that as few people saw that as saw
Don't worry,
Rux's
we, we,
failed
we
last
saw it.
play.
We pointed it out too. We got it. And that was actually like if the goal had been closer, that miss crescendo could have lost in the fight. But when you have 14,000, 12,000 for a gold lead, you can miss a crescendo or two. It's okay. You can't miss like every skill, but a crescendo missing is fine at this point. That's how much gold you need before you can start missing crescendos. And really, if that crescendo had hit one person, Fabi would have survived, and it would have been either a complete 4 for 0, or maybe a 4 for 1 with Lil Pally going down. Like that is how. That was the difference between people dying and surviving. Still, though, 2 inhibitors down. At this point, you're at the point of the game where you can sit back, let mid and top push if you're Curse Academy, just wait for the super creeps to build up, then descend on the bot lane tower. Until then, they can push if they want to, they can wait, they can play passively, aggressively. It's their choice. It is their game to horribly throw at this point. Like, they would have to make a huge mistake to lose a team fight now. Like 5 missed crescendos at the same time.
I was gonna say like how huge does this mistake have to be, Studio? Pink Ward there in front of the turret, so double stealth revelation there onto Fabi as he will try to get in here onto the last base turret of the game. Curse Academy shoving down absolutely everything in their path. Now Lavagen chugged down below about 500 HP. He's gonna have to get back on out of there, but it's Rux continuing the split push versus Haruka in the top lane. Damage down. There is the taunt on Haruka underneath the turret. The ignite as well. Will Haruka make it out alive? The answer is yes, but it's gonna be the lightning rush coming in from Lavagen. Can't even touch Rux right now, and another turret does fall. It will be the Nexus turret. There is going to be Stand United right onto Jacksmith, but it's not going to be enough for onto Haruka. Does not get taken out there, goes down, but it's a Maxi now. Down, but no passive able to be effective. Lavagen the next to fall. It's only Haruka left alive. Ice Path out, and with Curse Academy on the Nexus turrets, they will take the game versus Team Summon.
I mean, a fantastic game coming out of Curse Academy. They took control early, they took control fast, and there was very little Team Summon could do about it. They tried to respond, they tried to play their hearts out, but it just was not enough.
I'm pretty sure Curse Academy played Team Summon's hearts out there, 25-7 and 10-0, a perfect turret score for Curse Academy. So even though they were not with their normal roster with Yuno on support, can welcome young Lopali. Did a really good job there. Unfortunate miss crescendo, but 3, 2, and 12, very good support score. And across the board, great scores. 7-1-10 performance on Rux. 5-1 and 12 on Ari, and 4-1 11 from Curse's One Bad Brad. So nice performances across the board. Curse do extend their lead in the standings. They will move up ahead of Cognitive to secure themselves 4th place. Going into playoffs, there's going to be a lot of highly contested places, mostly 4th and 3rd place right now. But winning the game, moving on up in the standings, no complaints there.
Team Summon, it was cool ideas that they were with stuff they were trying to do. Too little, too late. Their score, I believe, is now 3-8. With I believe was it Infinite Odds has now taken their spot.
Yeah, Infinite Odds did come in and take the Exertus Zeal spot, or no, they took the Reality Check Gaming spot. So Infinite Odds coming in place of them. They're getting in there. They're now 4 and 7, I believe. 7.
And it's just kind of the story. The team that came in 0 and 6 has now managed to claw their way ahead of Team Summon. And Team Summon, they have had a lot of roster changes themselves. A completely different team than we saw at the start of the season. And you got to give them credit. They're still trying. They're trying to get better. And they did learn. They will not play this match the same way again against Curse Academy. Curse Academy, I don't think they're going to get a total of like 5 red seals. I don't think there was a single red buff the entire game that initially ended up on Team Summon's lineup. And I think that's a one-time thing. Now they know the power of Evelyn, and one game at a time. You got to learn those things that will just beat you up hard.
All right, well, that was an accurate description of what happened there. But it's the last game of the night. We actually did have a really, really good evening of games. I do want to give a shout out to our guest co-casters, Arthalon and Billy Boss. Thank them for joining us here tonight for the Mobile Fire Challenger Series. In case you guys did not catch the games, you can check out the VODs of the games after the broadcast on MCSesports.com. You can also scroll down just a little bit and click the donate button if you do want to help support us. Leave a tip for us, the casters, or the production team behind MCS. We really, really appreciate your support. So thanks for tuning into the games tonight. If you're looking for any and all information, you can check it out on MobileFire on MCSesports.com. You can also support our sponsors, iBuyPower, Razer Academy, and Fatality Gaming Gear for helping us make this entire tournament possible. Last but not least, a shout out to the players and the fans. Thank you all for playing, watching, supporting MCS as much as you possibly can. It's been a blast to cast for you guys tonight. I am Rapid on behalf of myself, on behalf of Studio, our guest commentators Arthalon from Team 2B Determined, and Billy Boss from Complexity Academy. I want to thank you all once again. Have a good night.